Problem 7. Geometry problem. I really like geometry. 2 quarter circles of radius 1 are placed together as the figure shows. How large is the area of the shaded part? All right, let's see what we have here. So we got a figure and they're talking about two, let's see, deselect that. They're talking about 2 quarter circles. So I suppose they're talking about this part. So if we were to write that like this, this would be a quarter circle. And of course here there's a little diagonal thing through the, from this tip to this tip. So that's that. And radius 1 means then that like this length right here, which is of course the same as this length, is the radius, which is 1. Okay, so that's going to be a 1 here, and this is 1, and of course this line of course is also 1. Are placed together as the figure shows, like this. How large is the area of the shaded parts, the 2 orange things together? How much, what was that? Oof, okay, so how to think about this then? So let's think about what are the different kind of figures is it that we're dealing with? All right, so let's try to make another a replica of this. So let me actually try to just duplicate this. I don't have to draw this much and waste your time. So let's do a copy of this and then paste it right here. There we go. Let's put that here. And then let's see. So we have this part right here, right? This quarter circle. Now I know that this part is something, the white part is not something that we're supposed to, count in this, but let's just go one step at a time. What if all of this whole thing was covered? How would we find the area of that? Well, because this is a quarter circle, we would divide it into 4 parts, right? And then we would just use the area of this. Now, what is the area of a circle? Well, that's something that you need to know in this case. So the area of a circle is pi r squared, r for radius, right? So I'm going to write that down so I remember that. Now I'm going to use that area formula to find out the area for the entire circle here. But now we're lucky here because radius in this case is 1, as it's stated here. A little bit nicer there. So in that case, that will be pi 1 squared, which is just pi. All right. So the area of the entire circle is pi. Of course, we're only dealing with a quarter of it. So how much would that be? Area divided by 4. Be pi divided by 4. And then, of course, there's 2 quarter circles here. So that would be, pi divided by 4 plus pi divided by 4. All right, so we got that information saved here. Now, the thing that makes this a little bit complicated is because of this diagonal line. And so there are basically these 2 mirrored triangles that we have here, which are white, which we're supposed to kind of take away from the area, right? We're only supposed to do the orange part. So what if we were to figure out the area of the triangles and we just took it away from the total area? Looks like something we can do here. So let's think about one of these triangles. You got this one, and then you got, let's see if I can do it in a clear line. There we go. And then, of course, we got a diagonal line like this. So let's see here. This one here, we know is half of the entire line. The entire line is the radius of this quarter circle, which we know is 1. So how long rather does this side have to be? Well, that has to be half of that. So that means that that's half. Well, how long is this area right here? Well, that we also know. That also has to be the radius, which is 1. So now we know the sides of this right angle triangle. This is a right angle triangle. Well, how do you figure out the area of a right angle triangle? Well, if you don't know, if you don't remember the formula for that one, you can very easily figure that out here by adding making a little rectangle around that triangle. And you'll see that this triangle here is exactly half the area of this rectangle. And how do you figure out the area of a rectangle? It will just be the two sides multiplied together, right? So in this case, half times 1. But triangle is just half of that, so you just divide that number by 2. So the area of this would be 1 times a half, and that's going to give you a half. Now, that would be the entire rectangle. Let's divide that by half. And so let's actually go back here. And this entire thing divided by 2. So how much is that going to be? Well, that's going to be 1/2 divided by 2, which is going to split that 1/2 into 1/4. So that's going to be 1/4 like this. Okay, so now we understand that we have the area of this one, and we have the area of the entire quarter circle. So let's do that one by itself, or both of them by itself, like this. This is just the entire quarter circle minus this little thing. What did we find out was the area of this thing? Well, we already figured that out here. That's pi 4. And then what is this? Well, that's okay, very nice. So now if we're going to do this, we can do pi minus 1 divided by 4. All right, so that's one of these. Well, this one and this one is identical. It's just mirrored, or rather, kind of. They're the same kind of figure that's mirrored along this diagonal. So the final answer, of course, would be twice this thing. So let's figure that out. So that would be 2 times this thing, which of course would be, you cancel out, the 4 becomes a 2 times 2, and then you cancel out those 2's. And then you're left with pi minus 1 over 2. Final answer, which one is that? This one right here. So D is the correct answer on that one.